Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. I am Rathnakumar. I'm a blogger, product manager, and an entrepreneur. Today we are going to look at 5 habits that changed my life. Before we jump onto the topic, I would like to tell you why I chose this topic. When I look back at my life over the last 10 years, I had done a lot of things. I had been a student, I had been an entrepreneur, I had been an employee, I had been an employer. I traveled across the world. Again, I started being a student again. I looked for jobs, I joined a new one. So there are a lot of things that I had went through over the last 10 years. But during this period, I had learned few things. I had met new people. I had unlearned a lot of things. I had redefined the way that I look at world and myself. And when I look back, there are few habits that has always stuck with me. There are habits that I had learned and perfected. There are habits that just came to me naturally. And looking back at it, what I had done today is I had refined everything into about 5 habits that I thought is probably the best ones that I had cultivated or that I'm following on a daily basis, which has redefined the way that I look at myself and makes me, when I look at a mirror, makes me look at myself as a better person. So those are the ones we are going to look at today. Let's get on to it straight away. Habit 1, blogging and journaling. I think this is something which didn't come to me naturally. When I started being a blogger in 2008, it didn't come to me naturally at all. I remember looking at Wikipedia and then start writing blogs. But I had evolved from being that person to be able to be somebody who's able to really write a lot of things, and I think it took a lot of conscious effort to get better at writing. But journaling is something that came later to me, where I had been through that phase where I really wanted to be expressive about what I feel, where I'd been confined with my own emotions. That's exactly where being a blogger really helped me, where I can really gush out what I feel. Even these days, what I do is I tend to write a lot of things, but I don't post them. I just keep them on my drafts. So just to that's probably my corner. That's exactly what I think as my journal area. I'm not somebody who's into journaling on a daily basis, but blogging and journaling has been one of the major ways where how I communicate, at least with myself. And it has also been a place where I can reflect back or look back at my own life. I still go to my website, look at blogs that was written 10 years back, 8 years back, and look at myself saying, okay, I had been that person 8 years back and evolved and had become a person like this. And it definitely makes me feel better, or give a smile at least on my face. So that's exactly how I look at being a blogger, and being regular to journaling feels like. So that's definitely on my top 5 habits. Habit 2, training my body and mind. This is something I had been really consistent over the past few years, purely because I had been a person of different sizes. Let's be honest. I had been somebody in excess to about XL in about a year and a half. I had grew to be that person, and shrinking down to be from an XL to an S or an M wasn't easy. It definitely took a lot of work. But how I look at myself, or how I see this specific problem, is keeping away from what you look like. It's all about how you feel about yourself as a person. I think, well, even if I'm an excel, even when I was really heavy, when I look at myself, I had always felt happy about the person whom I saw. But that doesn't mean I don't want to look fit, but it is also to do with the emotions that you carry. What you see or what you feel about you as a person is more important than what you see as a person. So that's how I look at it. And being mindful of about what's on your head is very important, especially because when I was an entrepreneur, I was also working for a company, which means I was into 2 different jobs at the same time. So meditation had definitely played a vital part in how I kept myself intact. And even these days, I am not very regular with meditation. I think I do it about 2 to 3 times a week, but I definitely spend about 20 minutes to half an hour whenever I do it. I use Calm app these days when I want to do meditation, but there are a few other solutions that you can try as well. But being mindful of your body and mind is very important. In terms of my body, I think I'm not somebody who's going to say I hit a gym every day. I'm definitely not such a person at all. I keep myself trained. I run, I do workouts, I do push-ups, I play. So I do one thing or the other which I feel comfortable doing on that specific day, rather sticking to a very rigid schedule saying 5 to 6 p.m. every day I'm going to hit a gym. No. Probably I might just go for a walk on one day in the morning. The next day I might just go play cricket in the evening. That's how I look at keeping myself fit. So figure out what's your niches, figure out what you like, and then decide what habits you want to stick to. But my way of working has definitely helped me a lot, so it definitely is in the top 5 habits that I have. Habit 3, being mindful of what I eat. I think this is something that I captured or started incorporating in the last couple of years. Especially when you hit the late part of your 20s, it's better you start looking at what you eat. I had tried a few diets as well. As I said, I had been a person of different sizes, so I'm a bit conscious about what I used to eat. But over the last couple of years, I had been really particular about what I eat. I have a note of how much of protein I take on a daily basis, how much fat that gets into my body. I'm a teetotaler, so I completely has stayed away from a lot of those type of things that's going to affect my body. And in terms of my regular diet, I also tend to keep away from sugar a lot, and I also stay away from fizzy drinks these days. I definitely quit a lot of those type of habits for sure. So being mindful or being very calculative about what you eat is very important. I think that is something that I had definitely incorporated in the last couple of years, and it is one of those daily habits or lifestyle habit that I'm carrying forward with me, purely because, as I said, I'm on the late part of my 20s. I don't want to take any chances. Habit 4, reading and learning. I think this is probably the best habit to have. I think this has personally helped me a lot, being able to spend a lot of time in reading and learning things. And when I say reading and learning, there are two different things. Reading could be reading a book, blog, video, anything, but learning is actually learning a new art, new activity for that matter. Being an entrepreneur was a pretty big learning curve as such. But and when I look at myself over the past few years, I had learned a lot of things. I had learned to dance salsa. I had learned to play tennis. I had learned to be a marathon runner. I had learned to be a cricketer. I had learned swimming. So there are a lot of arts that I had learned over the past few years. At the same time, in terms of reading, I think I'm reading about a book every week now. So that has been a very steep growth in terms of learning and reading is concerned. And this has been personally one of my favorite habit of all, purely because it just evolves you as a person, or it makes you respect yourself better as a person, because you're learning something or the other and making yourself a better person with each past week. So this is personally my favorite habit, and it has given me the maximum growth of all in terms of how I look at myself. Habit 5, setting daily goals. This is the most important habit. I kept the best for the last. Purely because, think about it, you might come up with any crazy idea, you can come up with the possible best idea, but the thing is, unless you have a perfect base to work around with, it's not going to go anywhere. Most often than not, people don't fail because they have a crappy idea. People fail because they have a brilliant idea that people are interested in, but they are not able to execute and take it forward. That's exactly where the problem is. And I'm a firm believer in a quote which goes like this, which is, people overestimate what they could do on a short span of time and underestimate themselves on what they can do over a long period of time. That's very true with almost everyone, because we all tend to just gush out a lot of things in a day, but we don't understand that if we would have taken small steps for a longer period of time, we could have actually got it done long time back. That's exactly how I look at that problem. And this is something that I had only refined or only started following in the last 2 to 3 years, and it took me a long time to get it incorporated into my daily lifestyle. So what I do these days is, especially in the nights, I schedule my day for the next day. I decide what I have to do. I generally keep my task list to about 3 to 5. If I do 5 things, 5 to do items for the day, then it means I have a pretty busy day. If I have about 3 or less than 3, anything less than 3, then I'm having an easy, nice day. Anything above 5 is pretty tough. I think I don't go beyond 5 because that's exactly where I burn out. So that's how I look at my own day. I use Notion these days to schedule my day. I had tried different apps for that matter, but Notion works for me, and this is not a paid promotion for Notion, but it definitely helps me a lot in terms of how I schedule my day. I tried different apps. You can try different apps, but getting into the habit of setting up a daily schedule is the most important habit, or the most basic habit to have for you to be able to grow other habits on top of it, or else it's going to fail. So do if if you're not somebody who is not into it, please try setting up your daily schedule. Try a couple of weeks. It's going to take time, because it's not easy to just move on to build a habit of building your own daily schedule, but it takes time. But probably the best habit somebody could ever cultivate to themselves. If you're walking away if you're watching this video and walking away from it, and you want to implement something, I would definitely say start with this. Start writing your daily goals and stick on to it. It'll do wonders for you. This sums up the 5 best habits that I have. Please do give a shot at them. And if you think you have a habit that I haven't listed here, but it has done really good things for you, please do share them in the comment. I'll definitely see if I can implement them in my lifestyle. Thanks for watching this video. Please do subscribe to this channel. It means a lot to me. Until I see you in my next video, have a great day.